keep forgetting my mic is muted. Okay.
There we
So,
go.
hey,
Got mine
everybody.
too.
Welcome. Can you hear me, Linda?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Welcome to tonight's Let's Talk Autism. While I am waiting for my computer to update, I'm trying to get used to this phone. But anyway, we're doing a special live. Um, we're gonna try to do these at the beginning, starting the beginning of next year, at least once a month, do like a controversial topic. And tonight's open discussion is going to be about vaccinations and our loved ones on the spectrum. This will not be a debate. There will not be any arguing. This is more or less a why or why not. And as well, we will be opening it up to um, your personal thoughts of if the vaccinations has anything to do with your child's autism. And again, this is only your personal opinions as well as the COVID vaccination. So give me a few seconds. My computer is back on. I feel more comfortable here. So let me, and for those of you who don't know me, I am Nita. I am one of the admins, and I will be right back.
And I'm Linda. I'm the other admin. Welcome.
I gotta see. Why can't I do this, Linda?
I wonder why I can't see.
Let me see. I'll be right back. I'm gonna
Okay.
switch to the.
Hey, Victoria. Hey, Lori. Lelma.
If I can get out of here. Let's see.
Hey, Pam. And hey, Sonia. How is everybody? How's everyone doing? I don't know where Nita went. I don't think she's trying to figure out the iPhone, I guess. Hey, Steve. Good. I'm glad you guys are doing good. Doing okay. How's everybody's weather? I'm doing good. I was thinking, yeah, I had today and tomorrow off. So I'm doing good. That's good. Cold, cold. Anybody have snow? Hey, Alex. Weather is good, kind of chilly. Yeah, I kind of knew what your weather was, Steve. Michigan is cold. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Kate. Oh, you have snow, Diane? Snow in Michigan. Yeah, I think we have a lot of snow and towards the mountains because we had a lot of rain. Usually, when we have rain, they have snow. I wonder where Nita went. So, is everyone's school kids on? Everyone's kids are on winter break. Emily, she didn't have school Friday because it was the last day. They had finals, then they didn't have school on Friday. And then she will go back January 4th. Hey, Veronica. Oh, no, hey, Veronica. That's not the same Veronica, but hey, Veronica. Danielle. Did I miss somebody?
All right.
Hey, Nita, you got your hair done, huh?
No, not recently.
I
It
thought
was
it was more, I thought it was less gray and it was more, blonde.
that
Yeah. Oh.
last week. It was more. It's starting to change back now.
Oh,
Last
okay,
week
yeah.
it was more gray. Yeah, I had
Mhm.
it was 2 weeks ago when I got it done.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was looking at something and something popped up on my thing. It could have been, I don't know when that live was. But you
Oh,
had a lot of hair though. It
yeah,
looked
it's
blonde
time
though.
to get it cut again.
I was thinking too. I was like, that's about the length that she start complaining.
Yes, very much so. So hey everybody, I'm back. I'm still now my microphone is not connected. This computer is getting on my nerve. So let me do this. Let me share real quick. Hope everybody is doing okay this evening. Um, Give me 1 second, you guys. I just want to put this in the group. Oh, wait a minute. And one more. And please, if you're here, make sure you show us some love by hitting that love button or that like button or even the laughter button. But yeah, now just show us some kind of love. So let's see who's here. Yes. Okay. Bye. Love you. Hey Victoria and Lamau. Lama, how are you? Hey Lori. Hey Pammy. Sonia, how are you? Hey RS. Hey, I'm doing great. Hey Alex. Hello ladies. Hey Lisa. Uh, did I pronounce that name right?
I don't.
Lauma. Lauma.
Yeah, I didn't know either. Let me see.
Doing good.
Leoma, Leoma.
Doing okay. I'm doing pretty good. Kind of flustered at this computer right now. Okay, so once again, yeah, it's cold here too. It is cold. Uh, weather is good, kind of chilly. It's good. It's snow here. Oh wow. No, we had a very little, just a little frost. Yes, Michigan is cold. Hey Lizzie. Hey Danielle. Just trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. Diane. Yeah, we have a little frost on my daughter's car over here. Not well, I haven't looked out in the last couple hours, so maybe maybe I should. Hi Veronica. There. Went to break. Yes, Friday. Oh yeah, went a break. I can sleep for 2 weeks. Yes. Hey Lorienda. Okay, so
Hey, Loranda.
once again, this is going to be open discussion and because a lot of members, we have a lot that want to talk about vaccinations, but that discussion is not allowed in the group because it gets kind of heated sometimes. So we want to open up the floor tonight and talk about vaccinations, your own personal thoughts. No arguing, no debating, just an adult conversation, why or why not. If anyone wants to chime in and if you want to come up here, you are more than welcome. I'm going to put the link in the chat and we are going to do these discussions at least once a month, the more controversial ones, at least once a month. And I think, yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Hey, Juan, how are you? Welcome back. My son is
Oh,
autism. I look after 50
thank
special
you.
kids who are underprivileged. Wow. Well, that's awesome. Hey, again, sorry, Molly was finishing math. Weather here is cold, but has been mild, all things considered. I'm thrilled to want a break so I could be home with my babies. Yes, yes. Winter break, winter break. I'm good and dealing with sort of mental physical disabilities. Want to know, is vaccination safe for you
That's
or for the kids?
and are you talking a specific vaccination or vaccinations?
Right. So we want to be specific. And again, this is open discussion. Um, so share with us your thoughts, and share with others. I'm going to put this in for, I see Mr. Charles is in the parent group. Mr. Charles, come on over to, well, I'm going to put the invite link in for you. You could come on up with us.
For the kids and of corona, for the kids and corona. So I think she's talking about the COVID shot, and she's talking about for kids.
Oh, for kids in the corona. So, I mean, what is your thoughts? What are you feeling? You said that you want to know, is it safe? What is your initial thoughts about the vaccination? Now, me personally, with the coronavirus, I myself, and again, this is my personal opinion. um, I rather have a little protection than no protection. So, um, we have had no effects. My whole family has gotten the shots. Um, I mean, when I first had the shot, I did have some cold symptoms, but that was it. My arm was hurting. My son, who's on the spectrum, he got his shot as well as the flu shot. He did very well. And this stuff is getting really deep. You know, they have all kind of variants going around now, and it's scary. So that's again my personal thoughts about it. So if I were to answer your question, for me again personally, I have to say that I would say it's safe. A little protection is better than none. Your thoughts, Linda?
Uh, yeah, I would say the same thing. I and again, it's my opinion. I've always had my kids vaccinated from birth, Emily included, and I don't feel. Of course, I looked at I took everything in consideration before she got it. She has had it, and she is 16 though, but she has had it, so she might not be as young as yours is. Um, but I kind of went along with we did vaccines, and if this vaccine is trusted um, by the FDA, kind of, sort of, whatever. I don't know what you want to call the trustworthiness, but I seen it long enough before I gave it to her, and I consider it like just another vaccine. Like,
Mhm.
we don't do the flu shot just because of how difficult it is to give her a shot, but yeah, I don't feel like it's much different from a flu shot.
What do
Hi,
you say,
Anita.
Mr. Charles?
By the way, thank you. You know, it took a minute. We had a minute to see where it came from, but yeah, yeah.
What is that?
Cindy and I both like Olive Garden, so
Oh, you got it.
Oh, good, good. I heard you talk about Olive Garden before, so I said I know he likes Olive Garden.
Mhm.
So that's
yeah,
good.
Awesome. Well, that'll help with a portion of your meal, but we
yeah,
hope you can put it to good use.
yeah. I don't want to pay for the whole meal, but that's okay. You know, that helps, and you know, we like to do Olive Garden every once in a while. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Cindy especially likes certain things they have in the menu, and I can always find some things I like too there. So you know,
Good. My daughter has really bad allergies, so oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Which one were you?
Okay, wait. Let me see. So we are basic. I see. Corona vaccination. Dear, I have stopped my son's vaccines 3 years ago, all sorts for my son. His mental cognition is better. Again, it's my personal opinion for my son who has borderline ASD. That's a good opinion right here. And again, everybody is on their own journey.
Right.
And to say that, yeah, exactly. And to say that nobody's ever been affected by a vaccine, it would just be, it would be false. But yeah, so that's I see that she said the observation was his mental cognition was better.
Okay, well, that's good.
And how old is your son?
Positive without giving them.
And then Kizzy says, my daughter has really bad allergies, so she's not able to get the shot.
Yeah, that can be an issue for some people.
Yeah. My husband and I debated about it over and over. Our children actually asked for the COVID-19 vaccine and willingly and cooperatively took them. That's good. Let me actually go back here where I might have skipped over. My children have all the basic vaccines given at birth, but we don't do the flu COVID vaccines.
Now, the question I would have there for Victoria, why not? And nothing
Alex.
against what you're not. If you give your child the regular vaccines, why not the COVID and the flu? And the flu shot's been out for a while, so just curious.
Yeah, that's not to challenge your decision.
Right,
it's
right.
just you put it out there, so it's kind of like, oh, of course, that's the next thing you think is why.
Yeah, why and why not? And that's what tonight's live is all about. Why and why not?
Yeah.
Good night, Alex.
Hey, Monique. Good night, Alex. Steve says COVID vaccine was a no-brainer if Emily had to go back into school, right? Yep. And I love their salad and breadsticks. So do I.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, some people do too.
Yeah. It keeps freezing on me. I will go out and come back.
Okay.
And who is this right here? Where is? Sonia. After getting COVID and my husband almost dying, we all got the shot.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm glad he's better, Sonia. Glad he's better. Okay, we have someone in the
here's it right here.
Waiting area. So let's see. We have Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
How are you?
Hi.
And did you come to give some thoughts on the vaccine, your personal opinion? Oh, where's this one at? We got.
Is she on mute? Oh, here, it's right here. Oh, it won't.
Is that Victoria?
We can't control her mute.
Okay.
Lisa, turn off your mute.
You have to take yourself off of
Can you hear me? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, welcome.
Turn off the mute.
Yeah. Oh no, we can hear you now. We can hear you.
You have feedback. Do you have two phones on?
It's my other phone.
Yeah, you have to turn off one of your audio.
There it goes.
We have to close the Facebook session.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Welcome. So did you want to add to the vaccination?
Oh no, I'm just listening.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Okay. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Oops. Okay. Flu shot makes me sick, so I don't give it to my children. And in my opinion, the COVID shot has not been tested enough, and I don't find it necessary.
Okay. So do you, and again, this is just a why. So with the other vaccinations, you feel that they've been tested enough? And I'm just asking because I know there was a time when we didn't have the chicken pox vaccine. If you guys can remember, I know a lot of you my age. They didn't have a chicken pox vaccine, but they got the chicken pox vaccine, and everybody got it. And I was young, but I don't too much remember it being a controversy over it. A lot of children, either you had them or you had the shot. I never had the shot, but I did get chicken pox 2 times. But I mean, I hear that a lot, that it hasn't been tested a lot enough, or you don't have enough information. And I don't know. I mean, why do you feel that way? I mean, I don't know.
Well, and then too, I guess she did believe the flu shot because she said it made her sick.
Okay.
So that was her choice there. And then she didn't find the COVID. And Victoria,
Right.
we're
We're
not
just having
questioning
a
your,
discussion, trying to
like,
get.
as yeah, like, I mean, if we were to say something, I'm sure you'd have questions too. Everyone would have questions. But yeah, it is just like a thought provoking thing.
Yeah, it's always something to think about. You hear everybody has, different feelings about it.
Mhm.
Um, uh, I've even heard people say the government trying to kill us all off. So I mean, you're always hearing something. What do you think, Mr. Charles, about the
Well,
vaccination?
we gotten our shots, and we've both gotten boosters of sorts. Now, Cindy got the Johnson and Johnson the first time, so she just gotten the second shot of Johnson and Johnson. That was her version of a booster. I got the booster shot from Pfizer, but you know, I mean, these conspiracy theories about the vaccination are going on all around the world in different forms, different places. You know, we just learned, the other day we were watching something, we learned that in Bulgaria, um, the Eastern Orthodox Church there is spreading this idea that the vaccine is the work of the devil, and you're going to roast forever in a certain hot place if you take it, and the government is trying to get people to get vaccinated and running up against that. So it's not just here in the United States that there are these things going around, and you know
Okay, and she says I'm indifferent on the chickenpox vaccine. I never had the vaccine, but my children have. Okay.
yeah.
Hi, Kizzy. Welcome. Her doctor said that she wouldn't give it to her because she's allergic to so many of her other shots with her immune system. Okay. Being so low and all her other health issues that it would be best not to give it to her. My daughter was hospitalized after getting the flu shot. Okay. Yeah, I can understand that. And 2 of her
Mhm.
vaccinations when she was a toddler. Okay.
you know chickenpox vaccine. I've never had that because I grew
Me
up
either.
before it was invented. I
I
got
think it was
chickenpox when I was 2 years
if
old.
I'm not mistaken, that came out it had early 90s because my son,
Yeah, I was gonna say 92.
yeah, because my son is he was born in 87. They didn't have the vaccine then. And he had chicken pox. But yeah. Well, I think when Jasmine, yep, around 92.
Mhm.
I think that's
Yeah,
when.
because I
Yeah,
think
but
Adriana was born in 93 and she got it in 94, but I think I had been out for a little bit already.
Okay.
I was barely 2 years old when I got chickenpox. I don't remember it. I only know that because my parents have told me that I got chickenpox when I was barely two. But you know, likewise, the MMR didn't exist when I was growing up. They did have a vaccine for diphtheria and for tetanus. Um, not for whooping cough though, but mumps, kids got mumps, rubella, likewise that got around, and with measles, my sister got measles and she got a really bad case of it. She was very sick with it, and her stomach got to the point she couldn't keep it down. They had to give her my mom had to give her a rectal suppository to enable her to keep down at least enough liquid so she wouldn't get dehydrated. And so what the doctor did was he gave me, based on my weight, gave me a measured dose of gamma globulin that wasn't so much that it would prevent me from getting measles, but it was enough that I got only a mild case of measles. So I ran a fever for 3 days and had a rash, and then afterwards I was okay.
Mm. Okay.
Because the idea is so that I would develop immunity to measles.
Okay, so you're saying, Lorienda, they didn't make it mandatory when it first came out, because it's definitely mandatory now is if your child is going to school, except for with any vaccines, unless it's for religious purposes. I think you can opt out.
And in California, you can't opt out anymore. You could, well, you can, but you can also, you'll be opting out of in-person school. You'll be opting out of daycares, license centers, because so when I'm signing a kid up, there used to be an option if it was a religious reason, I could waive it, but now anything in California under the, I don't know what it's under, what it's called, but it's schools, daycares, preschools, you have to have all the vaccines.
Yeah.
And that one is one of them.
Oh, I see Juan said he missed his IP. Okay, I'm glad you're joking, Juan.
Yeah, he said I missed you guys at my IP. Remember, because we were supposed to be there. Okay. We were there in spirit.
You were there, definitely.
We were there. We knew.
And I hope it went well for you, Juan. I hope it went well. Okay, where are we at?
She says, "No worries, ladies. Don't feel." I didn't think.
Okay.
Victoria but just in case, yeah.
Right. We have to say that because I don't want anyone to feel.
My teens have all their regular immunizations except for HPV. That was one that we considered differently as well.
I was asked, the doctor actually asked me if I wanted to give him that last shot. And I told him no, because I didn't feel it was necessary. Right. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one where sex, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's transmitted sexually.
Yeah. I didn't think it was necessary. So yeah, we opted out of that one.
Yeah. That was one that we considered differently as well. So it says, and then she says, I was afraid to let them get too many vaccines at one time. My son's behavior seems to change after he gets immunized, so they can get it on the next physical, maybe.
And for parents who don't know, you do not have to get, thank you for bringing that up, Danielle. You do not have to get your child's immunizations all at once. I know some people do 6 immunizations or 4 or something like that. You can spread them out. And for me, that I don't even feel comfortable, with DeAndre, when the doctor said, oh, he has to have 2-3 shots in this leg. Oh, no. We'll spread that out. So you do have that option. If your child is due for immunizations, you do not have to have the immunizations all at one time.
Yeah. In fact, the polio vaccine was introduced when I was a boy. And I can remember a year before the Salk vaccine came out, I was running a low-grade fever and had a stiff neck and sore throat. And we had a pediatrician who he gone through medical school with my Uncle John, and helped him through his studies. So he felt he owed us something. So he would make house calls, all kinds of nice things for us. And he came to the house and examined me. And then he put this glass of water down on the floor next to the couch where I was laying. and asked me to bend down and pick it up. Well, I didn't drink water. I didn't drink from anything, any glass that didn't have a design on it. That was a plain glass, so I wouldn't bend down and pick it up. He thought I couldn't bend down and pick it up, and so as he was leaving, I heard my mom say, "Well, then I guess he must have polio." I didn't know what polio was, but okay, that sounds kind of a neat name for something. And later on, the doctor returned with a nurse and some technicians. He had a whole team with him. They laid me face down on the dining room table, and they went sticking needles in my spine. They were expecting fluid to gush out, and and finally they figured out that all I had was tonsillitis.
Can you
It was
see it?
all because I wouldn't drink
Yeah,
from a
it's fixed.
glass that didn't have a design on it, and they thought I couldn't bend down to pick up the glass.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, but I wanted to read this real quick. Lorienda said it was not mandatory around 80s chicken pox. Yeah, it wasn't. They didn't have it then, Lorienda. Brandon born in 1997, and he did get the chicken pox vaccine. He got all the vaccines when he was born because I was a new mom and did what they said. But now I'm pick and choose which ones he has. Okay. Lisa, I want to give you a chance again. Did you want to chime in? Or you,
Oh, I'm just listening because I'm like confused about the whole vaccine stuff and like
oh,
nervous to get my son the
okay.
vaccine
Well,
because I heard that they had like if you get it, you have neurological issues that will happen and stuff. So I'm like kind of on the fence with it. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to listen to everyone else's opinions on it.
yeah, I'm sure maybe some kids are affected. I'm not saying they're not, but
Yeah.
my son did very well with it.
Really?
He
And then
did
I feel
really well.
pressured because then everyone's pressuring you to do it. Then I'm like, oh, I don't know it's the right way. People say, don't do it, don't do it. So I don't know.
But ultimately, too, I guess it's like how we made our own decision for us. It's kind of like, what you feel is best
Right.
because ultimately you will be living with, with
Yeah.
it. The whatever happens. But yeah, so it's like, I guess to like, you weigh the pros and cons and you look at everything, and then your mom
And
intuition
speak
plays
to
into it as
speak to
well.
other parents.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure there have been and there have been cases where children are affected with the vaccine um, and then children do very well. So yeah, I guess you
Yeah.
have to weigh, like Linda said, um, weigh what's best,
Yeah.
and make sure he doesn't have any underlying conditions that
And yeah,
may.
that's another thing
Yeah,
too. So,
yeah, yeah.
you know, and plus he's social distance, so he don't like to be around people anyway. So I think it's
Mhm.
and to give just to give him the regular shot, usually that's a nightmare for him.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
Well, I remember I
So
used
no.
to start screaming as soon as the nurse would pull out the cotton swab and I knew and the alcohol. I knew what was coming next.
Yeah.
You had to brace yourself, huh?
Oh
Yeah,
God.
but eventually, I came to accept shots as a part of life. About a year after that, and that was the most painful medical experience of my life. They're sticking those needles in my spine. About a year
Oh,
after
it
that,
sounds awful.
I remember they called us all out of the classroom at school. I was in second grade by then, and we wondered what was going on. We saw saw these kids were going into the clinic, and then they were going to the gymnasium where a guy was handing out lollipops, and we wondered what's going on. And then we got up a little farther. We saw a girl coming out of the clinic with tears in her eyes, and the boy in front of me goes, "I don't think I'm going to like this." And that's what it
Oh.
was. It was the first Salk vaccine shot for polio.
Oh, wow. So
And
Sonia's saying 95. It came out.
yeah, and I was looking it up before I seen her comment too. But yeah, it was 95. So Adriana was 2 when she got it.
Yeah.
Now this one, Diane says my teens got the shot, but I haven't yet. I haven't yet. Both have a duplicated chromosome autism. Both
Okay.
have a
Yeah.
duplicated.
And they both got the vaccine.
Oh,
The
okay.
duplicated chromosome, yeah.
Okay.
The right here, all other vaccines were developed over years of testing and tweaking. The COVID vaccine came out very quickly. It did.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
it
agree
did.
with that.
Yeah.
They had to
And I
find something.
yeah, I was gonna say it didn't come out that quick though. Just because they wanted to market something and have something. I mean, it was a purpose. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's like the difference between planned surgery and emergency surgery. If you have an acute appendicitis attack, there's not a lot of time for planning. You just gotta get into the
You have to
hospital
do
and get your
something.
appendix out.
Hmm.
And it's
You have
similar.
to do something. So again, if you're just joining us tonight, we're having open discussions about vaccinations. It could be either you feel it caused your child's autism or didn't, or even about the COVID or any other vaccinations. It's open discussions. There's no debating, no arguing. Please. Uh, we just want to talk like adults tonight and share your thoughts. Um, share your thoughts. Sorry, I'm quiet folding clothes. We understand, Lori.
Yeah,
Hey,
I've been
Teresa.
tonight too. So
I got the chicken pox at 17 years old. Wow.
yeah,
Yeah, I think I caught the chicken pox at, I might have been 9, 10, 7, maybe. I think I was 7 because I caught it twice. It was a different strain of chicken pox. I caught it
I caught
twice.
chickenpox when I was barely 2, and then I caught shingles when I was, I think, 52.
Okay. Yeah, they even have a shingles shot out now,
I know,
a
yeah.
vaccine. Yeah.
Cindy has had shingles too. So
Was
yeah,
the baby okay, Sonia? Hey, Dan, in long time. How
and
are you? Hello, Erica. Welcome. He did not get the chicken pox. Sorry, correction. Okay. Our
Yeah,
pediatrician.
you
Okay, go ahead.
with the females, they did say something with girls. It's some cervical cancer,
Yeah.
and it can come, I think, through both. And then and I know it was one for sure, because he said even if she's not sexually active, somebody could take advantage of her, because unfortunately, that she would be more prone to that. But yeah, there was another thing. It was something with cervical cancer that you could get, that it could prevent. The odds, yeah, I guess it's like everybody, you have to still weigh the pros and cons and the odds and the statistics and go with what you feel. Yeah, she tries to convince us to get it. Oh, she tries to convince us to get it every visit, but Dad just tells her no. Yeah. So was it Teresa was next that you had up here?
Yeah.
My son got all his vaccines, even his kindergarten shots. My son even got both of his COVID vaccines too. And next year, when he turns 11 years old, he will get the 11-year-old shots.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think Emily even had the flu shot as a when she was 1.
I see. Mention an 11-year-old shot. I picture, some aged whiskey. Whiskey is an aged 11 years. Taking a shot of that. That's an 11-year-old shot.
Charles. I do feel like my son started to regress after his 18 month. Yeah, a lot of parents see that. I think we all see the
Yeah,
regression around that time.
yeah, I
Mm.
seen it. Yeah, I seen it too. To be honest too, I had thought it was the thimerosal in the flu shot, and the flu shot has thimerosal, which is a mercury. But
Mm.
so she got that in December, January, and in May I knew something was wrong, and I felt like it was related. And then in between that time, she had her set of shots, but I going back. there were signs even from when I was pregnant. I knew something was different, and then the first year there was things before that I seen were different with Emily.
Yeah, and that's the same with me. DeAndre did start to regress, stop talking and everything. But before that, before the MMR and everything, he was a lazy baby. It was just things that I can say now that he did not do that he should have done when he was a baby. He was a really lazy baby. And I just overlooked a lot of things.
So was
So
Blake.
I probably would have thought it was the vaccination if it hadn't have been for him being that lazy baby, because
So
the signs were right there. I didn't want to, you know,
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, a lot of parents, see that.
Victoria says she was exposed so many times and never got My mom didn't either. She had all three of us had chicken pox. She got a physical, and because when she was up in age, she had a physical, and they checked her immunity on it to see what she should do, because you don't want to get it at an old age. But it ended up she never had it, but she had an immunity to it,
Oh, wow.
and that might be what you have, Victoria.
Well, the danger with for someone who didn't get chickenpox as a child is catching it as an adult, because
The
some
shingles.
adults who get chickenpox run extremely high fevers. I
Yeah.
heard my parents about somebody, a friend of a friend who caught it when he was 37, and he died from it. His temperature went all the way up to 108, and he died.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
not
they
good.
say it's rough. As an older person, I had chickenpox twice. Okay,
I think autism can come from getting. Well, yeah, a lot of people think that, Erica, and I would have been right along with that.
mhm,
And like I said before, um, had it not been for my son showing signs before his shots, then I would have probably said the same thing. And I'm not saying anybody's wrong, because,
mhm.
yeah, it's always possible, and that's possible. So, I mean, and that's your personal thought, that you think your child caught autism from the vaccination. But me, on the other hand, like I said, my baby was really lazy. The signs was there.
So
When he came out, it was there. I just didn't want to see it. Mhm. But yeah, it can happen. I guess it's a possibility. Yes. Okay. Yes, I had a healthy boy. Okay. Awesome. So the chicken pox didn't affect. That's good. That's good.
Oops, where's Lorianda? Lorianda says, I agree with you. My Brandon started to decline after all those early vaccines, along with my near-death car accident. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Mm.
Lorianda. Then after his 11-year-old shots, I felt like I didn't even know this child.
Wow. Yeah. So I would say yes. It probably possible.
And then, true too. It's kind of like the chicken and the egg.
Mhm.
Did the vaccines exacerbate symptoms of autism?
Yeah.
Was the autism going to be there anyways, and then that happened, or was it the reverse, vaccine and then autism?
And I also, well, and again, this is my personal thoughts. I do have, we have uh,
Can I call you back?
members of my family that are on the spectrum.
Okay,
So
will do.
I always believe that it may have come down to, his genetic makeup, um, family ties, and things like that. But for me personally, I don't believe the vaccinations caused his autism. I do believe his autism was there at birth. And like Linda said, it just maybe the vaccines caused it to show face. You know,
Right.
that could have been possible, but I believe it was already there.
Yeah. Of course, in my case, I was born before, most of these vaccines were invented. I mean, the
Mm,
ones that I got at an early age, were basically smallpox. They still were vaccinating people with smallpox then, and diphtheria and tetanus.
mm,
All deadly diseases. So,
yeah.
uh, I mean, even if any of them cause my autism, I'm way better off than I would be if I died from one of those diseases at an early age. Polio, by the time polio vaccine came out, it was already showing clear signs. Just like I said, it was that painful medical experience that happened because I wouldn't drink from a glass that didn't have a design on it.
It
And
had to have a
that wasn't
design.
the only sign I was showing. There were lots of others I was showing then, but
Mhm.
that one,
I
you know, yeah,
Go ahead.
I when I was making a decision for us and Emily, I went along the logic that he just said. That what I asked myself was, with okay, so if there was no vaccine, we'd still have a high level of deaths. Now is it more likely that the vaccine is going to do severe damage, even cause death, or COVID itself? So when I weighed those two, I thought I picked the one that I thought was less risk, and that's how we made our decision.
Mhm. And then going off of what Mr. Charles was saying, we do know that before the vaccines, around his time, there were people who went undiagnosed, with autism, like Mr. Charles. So, I
that's
mean,
true.
yeah.
Yeah,
And that goes with this one family. I brought it up before a couple times. They had three kids, two kids. So they had two kids. Two kids. They were both diagnosed with autism. They had vaccines, all the childhood vaccines, and third baby came along. They held off on the vaccines because they wondered if that was the culprit. They waited. Child turned, I think, 4 or 5, diagnosed with autism, no vaccines. So then they went ahead and they got the vaccines after that. But all three of them had autism, but the last one didn't have the vaccines until after. And they were in our group. That's where I seen the post in our group.
Wow.
But that's an example of them wondering, if it was the vaccine. Now that's not going to be for everybody, but yeah,
Right.
that was an example that I seen and I thought was very interesting.
Mhm. Then there was a case a while ago where a parent sued the vaccine company because MMR or whatever it was, and she won because she said those vaccines caused her child. I can't remember. I have to look it up, but it was some years ago. But yeah, everybody has different thoughts and feelings on that.
Right.
Mhm.
Where are we at?
Uh,
I'm in
here's one
Connecticut.
here. Uh, I took my son for a live blood analysis after he took one of his shots around 3 years old and saw metals in his blood. His immune system was inactive and his blood cells were stacking. Not sure if there's any negative effects. However, he showed signs before getting shots. That's interesting.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So where did you get the? I'm looking at that word. The key word is metals in his blood. Did you
Uh,
go? What type of doctor did you see?
yeah, that's what I wanted. I would like to know too. And then the other thing is, so they found metals in his blood, but what metals were they? Are they the ones that don't normally occur in your body, like iron? Were they different types of metals? Or what types of metals, I guess I could ask, that they were? Because
This
if
makes me
somebody
think
brought them out,
about
they must have been.
So I,
the Focus Live that somebody did a while back in this group about heavy metal toxicity
yeah,
and
yeah,
how
I
Yeah.
was just about
sometimes
to
that
bring
can
that up.
produce symptoms similar to autism. but getting those heavy metals out of the child's body can, cure the condition.
And the thing with that is where it was kind of confusing with that live because, for one, she did a detox. And I'm not discouraging anyone. I'm speaking from my thoughts. So I'm not discouraging whatever you guys do. But she said they do the detox for the child, the blood detox and whatever. She worked with parents for many, many hours. Here's the key, though. The child was also having therapy. So she's saying the detox, the child showed progression. She did not want to use the word cure, of course, not on our Focus Live, but the child was also had therapy. So my question to her was, well, if the child was doing therapy, how do you know what you were doing was causing the progress and not the therapy? And then you say you did this detox, which, by the way, costs a lot of money if you're really going through it. You're doing this detox with this child. If you are so convinced that the detox works, why does this child have to have this type of therapy?
Right.
I mean, that was the question in my head because, I wanted to know. And then you have to be careful. So if you are going through detox, because I've seen this on YouTube, and reading about it, people take these things and they have the soaks, and you think you are actually detoxing your body when actuality, all it is some kind of packet that is released that makes you think.
Oh, really? So it's not real?
Right. That
Oh,
you
I'm like, really?
So, I mean, you guys do your research. And again,
Right.
I'm not discouraging anybody, because I'm not discouraging anybody, but just before you try any type, even with the therapies, do your research first and see what,
And
Yeah, because
and as far as metal toxicity, what they said, if you're going to undergo metal detox, they said it should be in a hospital situation. Only medical professionals should be doing it, and it should be inpatient because, like I was saying too, because the metals that need to occur in your body risk getting depleted, and when your magnesium, when your iron, when all of those are off balance, that makes you unhealthy. I mean, it could be life threatening. I mean, people go in for iron infusions all the time, but it's an in hospital procedure. It's not like, oh, we're gonna go here and or like Nita was talking about those things, to that make it look like they're pulled metals from your skin.
right. And they're
It
not.
wouldn't be something so minor like that.
snake oil.
What you say, Mr. Charles?
It sounded like snake oil to me.
Yeah, snake oil. So just be careful. I know a lot of parents are hopeful and want to do everything they can to help their child.
Anything works.
Right. Just be careful and do your research. That's all I'm saying.
And along with his therapy and the treatment, he was getting older and more mature. Things were going to, time is progressive. And like I always say, even with autism, you feel like it's been a while before, or you're working on a milestone and it seems like forever and your child's not getting it. The child is still progressing, and I think she was talking about a course of, it was years. I thought it was a few years, but it was years.
8 years.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was 3 years or 8 years. Yeah,
You've
that's
been
what I was going to
working with
say.
this child for 8 years.
Yeah, and
And
I can't remember.
That's why.
Yeah, how old he was.
And you're doing
but it was
detox?
Yeah, I want to say he was adolescent when they started, but yeah. So she put it all on that, but 8 more years of therapy and maturity and aging, everything. Time has 8 years passed.
Some things I snapped out of suddenly. Some things changed suddenly. Like I had a phobia for a few years of eating with forks. I didn't like the holes that forks made in food, so I insisted on using a spoon. That posed a problem when I got to third grade because there we had hot school lunches, and they gave you the utensils that were appropriate for that food. And so there was nothing that people normally ate with a spoon. They didn't give us spoons. And so I would eat with my hands. And I kept saying, eat with a fork, not with your hands. But but I snapped out of that one suddenly. And then I decided that spoons were for babies. I insisted on eating everything with a fork. Must have made exceptions for things like soup. But like ice cream, I'd eat ice cream with a fork.
So wasn't it all, well, Jane, yes, they did, but there's always the other side. They're always gonna have,
Yeah.
one side is gonna say, I have proof.
Right.
Here's my proof, and the other side, so
The problem here is you can't convince some people.
right.
That's part of the problem here is and it just doesn't make sense to keep on debating with somebody who's not only not going to be convinced, but they're going to bring up specious reasoning as proof. Like a guy. I remember a guy who was arguing that vaccines don't work, that vaccines don't do any good, and as proof of that, he pointed to a polio outbreak at a school in Colorado. Well, it was a private school where kids weren't required to be vaccinated, and a lot of the kids there weren't vaccinated against polio, and that's why there was a polio outbreak.
Yeah. That's polio outbreak was when everybody had to wear the braces, right? With those braces on their legs.
Yeah, it might have been. I don't.
Oh,
I'm not sure about that part, but
okay.
I mean, polio was a scourge of kids. Up to when I was 7 is when the Salk vaccine came out because, of course, FDR had polio as a child, and he was, that affected him for his whole life. Probably the most famous polio victim.
Yes, Nita, I think it's genetics too. However, Brandon is first person known both sides with autism, and so the only okay. A lot Down syndrome run in my family. Okay. I agree with you, Mr. Charles. Some days I feel like my entire family is on the spectrum, but not diagnosed.
Well, as far as relatives on the spectrum, there's only 2 that I would name that I believe. Well, 3 actually. Name my brother, my daughter, and I are both convinced that he's on the spectrum, and my mom believed it too when she was living. Also, his ex-wife, my daughter and I both believe that she's on the spectrum, and we both believe that my nephew, my brother's son, is on the spectrum, and we also think that my grandson probably is, but he's never been diagnosed. Dorothy never got him diagnosed. He seems to be doing fine. He's 18. He's 19 now, and he's actually he's 20 now. That's right. I'm losing track of his age. He's 20. Yeah.
Wow.
He was born on the day that would have been my first wife Judy's and my 30th anniversary if she had lived to see it.
Wow. Wow. I realized my grandfather was definitely on the spectrum. Him and my son were like twins, 8 years apart. Okay, so you see some similarities.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if whoever's comfortable with this, everybody who's in here, either yes, you feel like even if the person is undiagnosed, do you feel like there's somebody in your family, wherever in your family, that is autistic or on the spectrum, or no, you definitely don't see it anywhere in your family? I want to see the
I know my
the
brothers. All my
numbers.
brothers are on the spectrum. They have Asperger's, or so me having
Oh,
Blake open that door up.
oh
My
wow.
mom, yes,
Wow. Okay. So that's a family, runs
yeah.
in the family. Okay.
Victoria says yes, and
Yeah,
I would say yes.
me too.
And I'll name another eccentricity going up a couple generations for me. Although I don't believe he was on the spectrum. He was just too sociable to be on the spectrum. But I still, there's an eccentricity. That's my paternal grandfather. He was having some trouble with his college work, and so this young lady named Jenny Sturman was assigned to tutor him. Well, let's just say a little bit more than tutoring went on between him and that Jenny Sturman. And one day she discovered that she was pregnant. And back then, in those days, that was a major scandal. And that was before World War One. That was a
Mhm.
major scandal then. And so, they had to hurry up and get married. And a couple months later, my Aunt Mary was born. But but he, but anyway, she was much older than he was. If the age that she gave when she went to the hospital just prior to death was accurate, she was 9 years older than he was. So he didn't want to tell anybody their ages.
Wow.
Then when they started having grandchildren, he decided he didn't want them to be known as grandpa and grandma. Their grandchildren called them Uncle Charlie and Aunt Jenny. And he promised a new car to any grandchild of his who reached the age of 18 without ever calling him grandpa. Unfortunately, Uncle Charlie died 5 years short of being able to fulfill that
Oh wow.
promise. My cousin Lori, who was the oldest of the grandchildren, was 13 when he died.
Mhm.
But, uh, but yeah, Uncle Charlie and Aunt Jenny, that confused me. I thought that it was normal to call your father's parents uncle and aunt. My mom finally had to point out to me that
Really, Mr. Charles.
her brother's children were calling her mother grandma, not Aunt Frances.
Okay. Okay, we have a couple yes, and Sonia says my in-laws. Stacy says yes, I do, starting with myself, undiagnosed, siblings and mother. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been having a hard time trying to save my daughter. You guys keep free. Oh, I'm sorry, Teresa. Doesn't show anything over on this end. Usually we'll get that little thing when I know it's freezing.
I don't know why I
Anybody
would
else
be.
having issues?
I don't know why I would be freezing up. The temperature is above freezing here in
Oh, here
Connecticut.
he goes. Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles. My grandfather was a self-taught chemical engineer, awesome, who worked for the same company from the age 19 until he was 83. Every time he tried to retire, he would do projects and travel a little and go right back to work. Wow. That's awesome. Self-taught. That is awesome. No scientific evidence that vaccines cause autism. In fact, when thimerosal was removed from vaccines, the autism rate still went up. I believe in genetics and environmental as a cause, but that's just my opinion. Okay. Yeah, I'm same way. Sorry about that background. No problem, Lori. Just my machine is messing up. My little sister was the first one diagnosed in my family. She has microcephalic.
Cephalic.
Okay. And is on the spectrum. She's 29 years old now. My son is a male version of my sister. He is on the spectrum as well. ADHD, leaving disability, and has dyslexia. Okay.
It probably is supposed to be a learning disability, I'm guessing.
And even though I think it's other places in our family, um, her comment just made me think this. Emily is the only one diagnosed.
Okay. Okay, everybody, we are at our last, well, we're past we're past time. But if you like to come on up inside here, you are welcome for any last words to the community. Feel free. Oh, did you click, Linda? Okay.
No, yeah. So, oh, you did too. Sorry.
Have a
I
great
have to
night,
go down,
everyone.
Stacy.
And please, before you leave out, make sure you show some love. Hit that love or that like or that laughter. Just don't hit that meanie face. That's
Oh
not
no.
We're gonna try to do this at least once a month. We'll be back. Well, this is our last Sunday live. Let's talk autism session for this year. Next week we will be on break. So we will see you guys next year,
Okay.
and we'll try to have these little open discussions about different types of things with that has to do with autism at least once a month. But we will be back every Sunday, same place, same time, except for next week, you guys.
Right.
And make sure you hit that love button on your way out. If you want to say some last words, feel free. We're going to start with Mr. Charles tonight. Any last words?
And just say, enjoyed the discussion tonight. Again, I know this has been a subject that has been taboo in the group for largely because of the fact that
Yes.
it stirs so much controversy and people have such strong opinions about it. But again,
That's why we have to keep it out the group because of everybody's strong opinions.
As a parent, do the best you know how for your kid, and if that's what you're doing, even when you do something that you know afterward was a mistake, you realize you made a mistake. Don't kick yourself too hard over it. Just learn from the mistake and move on, because you're doing the best you know how. That's all anyone has the right to expect. And if you have ignorant relatives or other ignorant acquaintances who say things like, well, just spank the autism out of him, well, ignore them. They're not
Definitely.
worth worrying about. It's not worth letting them bother you.
Right.
Lisa, you have any last words for the community?
I hope everyone has a happy holiday, and I think this group is great.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'll see
Kate,
y'all
how are
next year.
you?
I'm good. How are you, Nita?
Any last words for tonight?
Everybody have a very, very Merry Christmas. Enjoy time with your friends and family. Do the best that you can for your kiddos, and we'll see you in the new year. Happy New Year's, guys.
Okay. Hi, Kizzy. How are you?
Yeah, fine.
Welcome.
You. Thank you. Yes, it's my first time on this chat group.
Yes.
I just want to wish everybody happy holidays. Hope everybody
Happy
everybody
holidays.
have a great Christmas.
That's cute.
Happy
So everybody
holidays
happy
to
holidays.
you.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
hello.
Hi.
I'll come right back. Just enjoy your New Year's, everybody.
Okay. Lori, do you have any last words for
Oh,
everybody?
sorry.
Oh.
I'm just in the middle of making dinner. Sorry about that.
Okay.
No,
Any last words?
Just be safe out there, please. No one gets sick or hurt or anything like that. Just be safe.
All right, awesome. And Danielle says it was a great discussion. You all be well. Safely enjoy your celebrations. Turn off any alarms you don't need for the next 2 weeks. Awesome.
Right. Hey.
Self-care, right, Danielle?
Right.
Self-care.
Yeah.
Good night.
You say hi?
All right.
Oh.
All right, everybody. Have an awesome good night and happy holidays for those of you who celebrate. And we will see you next year. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Appreciate
Bye.
you all.
Good night, everyone.